Welcome to another episode and video on my ESP32, a small device with lots of possibilities, with volatile memory, because when you disconnect this cable which is attached to display to a computer, everything goes. Last time I successfully activated this LCD screen with both a static and a scrolling text, and I made a start with, or try to start with, a 7-segment display. The examples that I found right then were for a very different one, and which had 4 instead of just 1 display. So I could not use that. Now I have found some information which I will include in my blog on my website, that I can connect this one. However, I have to connect plus and minus. Now these are more or less connected, but from the 5 volts I only now have one connection here for the display, so I really need to change that. I need to actually change the 5 volts to this one, and from this one to this one, which already has happened. So I need to rewire. And I need to rewire to wire from here to here. Although from ground to here already happened. So the connection that I will make is actually from here to here. And then of course from here to here as well, because these parts are interconnected and these are interconnected, but this one still isn't. So that's one thing to do. Next I need an extra resistor, which I do have plenty. I need 2 wires to interconnect the commons on both sides, and I need to find out if I can replace the, according to the instruction, the minus 5 volts by common, by ground, or hopefully maybe the ESP32 has a minus 5 volts. That I will see and test. First I need to do some wiring. So let's get to that and see how that works out. Alright, I had to completely rewire. For example, this wire I have now put away from the display into the mains. Then, using the connections that already were between these 2 breadboards, a very thin wire to the display. This one remains intact for now. And further on, thick wires here, because they can be, and a thin wire right here. And now I noticed that one of the, oh no, I thought one of the wires was out, but that's okay. Also, for some reason, this doesn't work anymore, so I will have to, for the second time, upload the program and see if that restores it. I hope so. And then, because I lack really thin wires, I have to move. See, now it works again. The display, at least. The display got stuck in the routine of the lower one. So if this one ends up, then and the display and this LED flashes, I'm fine. Yep, I'm fine. So right now I am forced to relocate this display here. And that will work out okay. I just have to adjust some wires and another resistor, and then see how everything works out. But actually now with this rewiring I can use all parts of the breadboard, and then see if this one works out, if I can actually control it. But that remains to be seen as long as I haven't tested it. So let's wire it. Alright, so now I've rewired it according to the instruction, both common cathodes connected and with a resistor 2-, although this one should remain in its place. And then for now just a very small testing wire connecting to plus and connecting it to each of the segments, so that should be working then, like, yep, working. Working. Then here one working, another one working. So going to above, that one working, that one is working, that one is working, and that one is clearly working. So this means that the LED, or more appropriate the 7-segment display, because this is an LED, that -5 volts can be replaced by ground, so no longer worry about that. Oh, and I notice once again that the LCD has frozen. It's barely visible like this, but you can see it's frozen. It no longer runs, and so I don't know why that is. And indeed this is also no longer running, so that may be the cause. Why is that? Well, I'll leave it for now. And anyway, I now know that I have to be careful with that. But now, this was an experiment, the first one, and going to building a circuit. So this is for the Arduino, by the way. So I'm not quite sure how this will work out with my ESP32. I'll have to find out. So, moving on and see how things do work out. Because this and ESP are two very different controllers. Anyway, that's an experiment. Let's see. Alright, after quite a bit of searching, I finally found a way to control the 7-segment display. And of course, well, this is then from some Indian site, but if I go here, I have well, a layout of pins, and in this example they have, of course, a slightly different layout of pins. But it does give an idea, right here, how to do things. And since it is not entirely consistent with my device, I have to use different numbers, but the same idea of programming. So declaring variables, or well, actually the numbers, and these numbers are according to this one: A on top, D below, G in the middle, etc. I won't be using the digital point for now. Anyway, this is then the whole display, and then going down, and then this is the control of the whole display. The only thing, yeah, you noticed, is it is not wired yet. So that is up next, and I have to prepare the wiring. This is one big wire, and I try to use one of the wires that are pre-made, but the distance is either just too long or too short, and the pin numbers are right here. So I have to make those wires like I made these ones, wire up, and then see if everything works. So let me just do that. Oh, and by the way, if you have just noticed in the flash, then this works, this doesn't, and one of the numbers they used in the example is number 5, so I will skip that. Anyway, let's prepare some wiring. Right, after quite some struggle, I managed to wire everything to the pins that I had hoped to do, and that didn't come without problems. I also wired the 7segment display here, and since this program doesn't know a symbol for a 7segment display, I have to do it like this. This program, KiCad or whatever you pronounce it, does have one, but I'm not familiar with the program itself, so I skip it. And then it's up to uploading and see if it works. Although I just noticed that when I shield it a bit, you might see this segment be red a bit. But let's see, everything should lit up when I now upload and compile. And then everything else should work as well. And oh, by the way, let me do this, because this is nice. That no, I'm doing it wrong now. This I should copy and put this here. This is better. So what happens now is that LED goes, LCD goes, oh yeah, and then LCD clear, and then another LED, yeah, that is better. Go along as I do. So LCD, so the LED, this one lights up, then the whole LCD goes, then another time the LED, and then the 7segment display goes, and then this one goes. So let's see how this ends up. Hope I don't blow things up. Unexpected quality what is this? Ah, right. This. Again. And then we'll see how much works and how much doesn't work. Well, the LED works. The display doesn't. Ah, I have that problem again, where the signal didn't entirely go as planned. So now I have rubbish on the display. Let me upload again. Oh, by the way, the 7segment display is entirely working. So let me change them a bit and have the G segment low. So I would get a 0 instead of an 8. And yes, this means that the LED display does work now. Yeah, it's poor lighting, I'm sorry for that, but you see the text scrolling. Yes, going, and oh, that's not what I expected. There are 2 gone. Okay, that needs to be fixed. Okay, just 1 gone, and there are 2 segments down. Really? Okay. But then again, I can test it by writing 7 of these segments and have it go. And okay, the LCD just goes. Okay, glad that works. Right. However, now I have 2 problems. One problem is the LCD, the 7segment display that doesn't work according to plan. Second, LCD display gives rubbish. So let me upload once more and see with high if it works again. If everything works again. And if not, I'll have to see the wiring. Alright, segment. This display works again, as you can see. However, this one, oh wait, it's not that time yet. Yeah, it works. What I want to do, however, is delay and then switch it off. So, copy, paste, so see how this one works. And actually something more interesting. Make the F segment, the G segment, which is, so this works. I only put out the G segment and then G and F went out. So let me do that again. No, first this one. On and off. not too many things at the same time. Go. See whatever happens. Scrolling off the display. Very good. Long text, I might for time's sake reduce it. Alright. On and off. Very nice. So now for, once again, disabling one. So I will go for G being high, and that is then the opposite as what I did earlier. Everything low and only G high, and G is this middle segment. So let's go for it. Alright, starting display. Scrolling. Takes really a long time, but whatever. Off. Oh, that doesn't go as I planned. G doesn't work. G is not working. G is 17. 17 is right here. Ah, that is why. A little bit of wiring issue. So it does work. Yes. Nice to know. Nothing wrong, just a wiring issue, and I have to be careful with that. So what's next? Well, I can go on with the 7-segment display, of course, although I have one more display, but now it makes sense to me that, although, yeah, it makes sense to me because on the picking list showing all items is only one 7-segment display, and I found only one at well, several schematics where many things are being connected to the ESP32, but only a few with 7-segment displays. And another thing is this one ends with AS, this one ends with BH, and would be a somewhat different type of 7-segment displays. So I'm leaving that as is for now. That said, I would like to display, let's say, the digit 1. From this state, with G being high, I have to say B, and then this is of course not correct. This one should be high, B, and C So this one is B, this one is C, this one is G, should be low. So let's see how this one ends up. And of course a small delay. So let's see. How that one goes. The whole display again. See, that is nice. Now digit number 2 is then different because it involves A, B, G, E and D. A, B, G, E, and D. And from this state I have to make sure that C is off. So I'll do that right here. And of course a small delay. And from this camera it is hard to see, but whenever it goes uploading, then the text is hardly visible, stays on the last part of the text. Although barely visible, but well, barely visible on the camera, let me put it that way. See, and that is what you get. Lots of wiring, but a nice thing to work. Two kind of displays. Good. And that's the end. I'm afraid that, let's see how I can play with the lighting so that you see everything on the LCD display, but I think you can't. Anyway, it's scrolling right now. Right after the last segment I had to reload the device because the LCD display showed rubbish again. I'm not quite sure whether this is because I touched somehow this this probe, but anyway, that's it for now. A lot of wiring problems. I had to prepare them, I had to stick them, which wasn't that easy. I had to find out how and what was possible. This looks like a nice thing. Next thing of course is having it display everything, including letters, because that's also possible. Maybe even the digital point, although that may be hard on from this side, although no, I still have 2 pins here left. Oops, I have to take care of the lighting. Anyway, 2 pins left for of which I can use one for the digital point. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Give it a thumbs up. I don't even remember if I showed you the complete the new schematics, but anyway, that will be next time then. Subscribe to my channel, give it a thumbs up, and leave a comment or suggestion. You can also follow me on Twitter. Please retweet, like it, leave a comment. You can also follow me on Instagram. Please like it, leave a comment. And you can find everything under this video, my website, Instagram tag and Twitter tag. And you can you're welcome to support by making a small donation via PayPal or Riot, and you can also choose to become a patron and have your name mentioned on my website as well as with my video, depending on the pledge you make. Thanks for watching. To be continued. Bye bye.